Encounter is brought to you by the Broome County Council of Churches, where we connect compassion with needs as we inspire growth with dignity. You'll find us in special places throughout the community. For those who remain hungry, we provide meals. For those who are challenged, we build wheelchair ramps. We comfort those who are ill, minister to those who are confined, and we remain an advocate for change and understanding on behalf of every element of our community. Connect and inspire. Encounter the Broome County Council of Churches.
Good morning and welcome to Encounter. I'm your host today, Joe Sellepack. It's been a year. We've been dealing with the pandemic, the COVID-19 virus, and many of us have had to shift in how we operate and how we do things. And one of our major programs here at the Council of Churches, it's celebrating its 25th anniversary this year, is the Faith in Action Volunteers. It was originally called Interfaith Caregivers, and was a program that was established under Executive Director Bill Stanton. He was here back in the 90s. And our current director for the program is Sue Spencer. Sue, it's great to have you on Encounter today.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning. It's nice to be on. Thank you.
So one of the things that Interfaith Caregivers and Faith in Action Volunteers has like specialized in is connecting people who require services to live independently in their own homes with volunteers in the community. Now that's made it kind of, this whole pandemic and COVID-19 has kind of made that a little bit challenging, hasn't it?
Oh yeah, it's changed our whole scope and our whole focus. So it's been quite a challenge.
And what's been specifically challenging about it?
Well, the first thing is, our main concern was to keep both clients and our volunteers safe, during the height of the pandemic. And we had a lot of volunteers who were not comfortable with driving, and they were worried about spreading the virus. So we kind of had to put our medical transportation on hold for a while. But the bigger issue was getting groceries to people, because we had a lot of housebound seniors who either needed someone to shop for them or someone to take them. And so we had to get a little creative with that. So we developed our online grocery ordering service, which is utilizing the various grocery stores and their online ordering systems, which was not an easy thing to do. There's a lot of little glitches we had to get through, especially when we're using a system that's developed for individuals to use, and we're trying to use it for a group of different people. So it took a little time. To figure that out. So I looked it up. We officially did our first delivery on April 3rd of 2020. So it's almost a year.
Almost a year.
Yeah, those first few weeks were really rough because it was the height of the pandemic. Everybody was ordering online for groceries, so it was difficult to get onto the website sometimes. And then sometimes we'd have to wait till midnight or 2 o'clock in the morning to get on to find a delivery date or a pickup date. So a little bit crazy in the beginning, but as we worked with it, we refined it and we figured out some ways, and now it goes pretty smoothly.
Now, one of the reasons that volunteers may have had a problem with doing driving and other kinds of things is because of the average age of our volunteers, correct?
That's true. The majority of our volunteers are retired, and many have been retired for many years. And a lot of them have their own health issues that they were concerned about. And they also realize the concerns about passing it on to our clients as well. So
right, and normally under regular circumstances, there would be no problem at all having a driver drive someone who has mobility issues. But when you add the disease, it makes it very, very difficult for people, I would think.
Sure, because often they need assistance. You can't socially distance when you're trying to help somebody get into a car, and get a wheelchair for them at the doctor's office and that type of thing. So it did make it a little bit difficult for that. And I know a lot of our clients, their doctors went to telehealth. So they were getting their medical appointments taken care of during that, which was a challenge for them too, because a lot of them are not very, very comfortable with technology. But it's been it's been a year of growth for all of us, to learn how to maneuver through this.
Have you gone back to doing some driving?
We have started doing some medical appointments, yes. We have a few people that regularly need their appointments taken care of, and we've started doing that. The interesting thing for us is we have a group of volunteers that are willing to do that, but there's still a group we need to reach out to. And we're hoping that with the vaccinations and everything, that they're going to be willing to come back and help us drive. But so we are starting to do a lot of that. We're still doing the online grocery shopping. I actually found out we have a few volunteers that went a little rogue on us during this time, and even though we weren't offering transportation, they were doing it on their own. So just a testimony to the heart of these people. They knew these clients.
They want to serve.
They wanted to help. So but that's a good thing. That's a good thing. And other good news, we're going to be able to build ramps this year, which we were not able to do last year. We have started doing a virtual chop and chat. We're trying that until the senior centers open back up, and we've done 2, and they've been well received. And again, a learning curve for a lot of our clients on how to connect and get on to the technology. But and we did get a new location for senior living ministry too, so things are slowly coming back.
So do you want to describe to people what Chop and Chat is?
Sure. Chop and Chat is a program we started maybe 3 years ago. We've realized that a lot of seniors, because they're homebound, they don't get a lot of socialization, but also as part of living alone, they don't eat as well as they should. They rely on a lot of processed foods. They maybe don't cook because it's no fun to cook just for one person. So the Chop and Chat program is designed to get groups of people together so that they can visit and talk. And while they're doing that, they get a recipe and they get the ingredients with lots of vegetables in it, and they can sit and they can chop and prepare it to take it home to cook it while they're chatting with their neighbor, hopefully. And we were really doing very well. We had about 9 different locations, and we were getting lots of people to come, and then we had to stop because the senior centers closed and we couldn't go into the buildings. And so the 2 virtual ones that we have done so far have averaged about 15 people, but they're all so happy to be back. And I think it will work well while we wait for everything to open back up,
Now, Larice is our for that program, right? She puts the recipes and that kind of thing together and
yes,
does that?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, she does that, and she was also kind of in charge of the online grocery shopping. So we've had to kind of readjust things. We actually have a volunteer that's willing to help with the grocery orders out of her home. So she'll make the calls and put them on and that too. And we, our volunteers are eager to get back, I think. They're bored. They enjoy it. Yeah. We also have Carol who's been doing. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, how many grocery store orders have we done since the beginning of the pandemic? Do you know off the top of your head?
We've done 322 deliveries to date. That averages 26 a month. 26, yeah, 26 a month. So if you figure it out, it's at least 3 or 4 a week. Sometimes more. It ebbs and flows. Some people only order once a month.
Yeah. Well, that's helping a lot of people then. I mean, it's really doing what we're trying to do is keep some of the vulnerable population from having to go to the grocery store where they're exposed they may potentially be exposed to something that might be harmful for them.
That's true. Yes. A lot of them they were very frustrated in the beginning because they didn't understand why we wouldn't take them. They wanted to go. And some people didn't like it. And then we had groups of people, we had certain people that their family would then, eventually step in and intervene and help them with their groceries and things like that. So they kind of stopped ordering with us, but then we keep getting new people too. So it fluctuates back and forth. We probably have about 20 to 25 regulars that will use us on a regular basis, and a couple that pop in every now and then and want groceries. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Now, my guest today is Sue Spencer. We've been talking about Faith in Action volunteers and the shift that's gone on in their services and how they provided it during the pandemic. Let me ask you another question. So, as far as the people that we've been able to serve and connect with, how important has the wellness calls that you've been doing and Carol's been doing? How important have those been?
They've been very important, and we found that it's kind of been a lifeline for them because some of these people have no one to talk to or on a regular basis. And I think they really appreciate just the time to chat a little bit, and we can check in on them and see how they're doing. Carol's been doing an amazing job. She averages about 50 hours a month just calling people and checking in and seeing how they're doing. So she's been great, and a lot of them really look forward to it.
Yeah. And I know that during the snowstorm that we had in December, which was kind of an interesting moment in our like a record snowfall. Many of your like Lorice and some of the other staff were involved in trying to connect with people who had been inside of their homes for for several days, a couple of days, because they couldn't get out then too.
Sure.
We experience today I think more isolation than what I've experienced ever in my entire life. There's being alone, and then there's being alone. And right now we are very much alone in many different ways. It's hard for people, and especially for people that are shut in, right? I mean, they can't, it's when they don't have as many people coming, even into their home. It's just very, very difficult for them to be able to relate to others.
That's true, and a lot of them,
Don't you
even
think?
if they had aides that would come in on a regular basis,
man.
that kind of stopped, and they lost that contact.
Yeah.
We even found that just taking a grocery order is they just love to socialize during that too. So sometimes the grocery order takes quite a while because they want to chat in between. And I think it all helps though keep them connected, and we can find out if there's other things that they need, and if we can provide that or find someone to provide it, we like to help them with that too.
So Sue, we're going to be coming up on the Lives of Commitment breakfast, and last year we had to cancel the breakfast, unfortunately, because of the pandemic. And this year it's going to look a little different. So do you want to describe to people how that's gonna go?
Yes, well, this year we're going virtual, which has in its own self has been a learning experience. We'll be providing a video Lives of Commitment in May for people to view online, and in some ways it's kind of fun because it's a new experience and we're trying a few different things. But we will be honoring our volunteers during this video, and I think people will enjoy it. I think it'll go off really well. I have positive hopes for it. We'll be doing a small ceremony at the DoubleTree and video recording it, and that'll be part of the video. And we'll have a keynote speaker, and it'll be just like a regular Lives of Commitment.
And so when people register for the breakfast, they'll get a link to the show, or to the Lives of Commitment breakfast. And what else do they get along with that?
Well, for our sponsors, you mean our sponsors?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The sponsors will get the link to the show, and then they will also receive breakfast vouchers they have their choice of 2 different locations to pick up a breakfast. So they can do their own little mini Lives of Commitment breakfast in their office or in their homes and enjoy that.
Okay. And how would a normal person, like one of our viewers or one of our listeners on the radio, how would they how could they access it if they would like to?
Well, at this time, I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to post the link on our website so that they can just go there and click on and go to YouTube and see the video. So.
And there they would be able to see all the honorees and really get a sense for what other people may experience at a regular Lives of Commitment, except in a smaller venue.
That's true. Yes. And they get to meet the honorees, and we have little presentations, videos of the honorees, gives them a little bit more insight into why these people volunteer and what they get out of it, and why they feel it's so important in their life. And then the keynote will also be speaking about that as well.
And who is the keynote speaker this year?
This year is Greg Keeler from SKG. I had to think. Yes, so he will be giving the keynote speech.
He's also Greg Keeler is like a fixture in Binghamton. He's a member at Trinity Memorial. He sings with the Downtown Singers, as well as I can't remember the traveling minstrel show. I can never remember what that's called, but he's part of that. He sings with the Savoyards, all kinds of things. Wherever a voice is needed, Greg Keeler's voice will be a part of that. So it's he's quite an interesting person, and I'm looking forward to hearing him speak at our Lives of Commitment breakfast. So it'll be really great to hear him. So as far as the future of Faith in Action, you said that we would be doing wheelchair ramps this summer. How many do we anticipate doing, and how many teams will we need this year, do you think?
Well, we anticipate doing our normal 15 to 16 ramps in the season. Unfortunately, because of last year, we have over 30 requests for ramps. So we have quite a few. Hard. It does. And when they keep coming in, so it never ends. But I know Bob Bundy, the coordinator, is planning on doing the full schedule, which is usually 15 to 16. I know he's got several build teams on board. He's trying to work on that. We're also working on our corporate build team program too. If there are business people that would like to work on a ramp with a group of youth, they can give us a call. We can talk to them a little bit more about that. But hopefully the teams are going to come back. We're a little curious to see if the school groups will be able to do them. But I know a lot of the church teams are ready to go. So.
Yeah, I know that a lot of the kids are eager to try to reconnect with others, because it's been a tough year for a lot of students, I think.
Yeah. So we're optimistic. I mean, we certainly have enough work to do. So we've got a lot to keep us busy with that. Yes. And hopefully. I'm sorry. If the nursing homes open up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask about the nursing home. So the new nursing home that we're looking at getting involved with is it. Why don't you let people know what we do with that service, and then how might a person be able to get involved in that if they would like to.
Well, the senior living ministry is volunteer clergy and lay people that will go to the nursing homes and provide church services, sometimes once a week. It's on a rotating basis, and we, of course, because the nursing homes closed down, we had to stop that. We did get a request from Good Shepherd Village, and I think they have started there because that's more of an assisted living than the nursing home. So I'm pretty sure as soon as the nursing homes are opening up to people coming in like that, our clergy will be back doing that. And if anybody's interested, they can give me a call. I can direct them to the coordinator for that, to provide just a short 1 hour service, usually with songs and maybe a little sermon. I think the people at the nursing home really look forward to that every week.
Yeah. And do they do they need singers, people that can lead songs, that kind of thing?
That I'm not sure. I know that probably the clergy will lead that when they're there.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Chris Fluke is the person to contact on that information. But I know we have bought them hymnals, so I know that they do like to sing. I don't know if there's somebody there that may do the piano or play it or lead that.
Yeah. So they can call the Council of Churches at 724-9130 and ask for Faith in Action volunteers, and they can get through to Sue that way.
Yes.
Or they could go on our website, www.broomcouncil.net, and sign up to volunteer that way as well, if they would like to be involved in any of the things that we have been talking about so far. Drivers, we're always looking for drivers. We're always looking for people to help and connect, especially with vulnerable seniors who are living as shut-ins inside of their own homes. They want to be there, but they do need people to look in on them on occasions. So one of my favorite stories about Faith in Action is involves a gentleman who did just wellness visits. He would just go to somebody's house just to sit with him, and he found out that the person he was going to see was somebody who had retired from the same business he was involved in, and they became very good friends because they had a lot of connections that they didn't realize that they had before. How important are those kinds of connections that in the life of a senior, especially someone who's shut in?
Well, I think they can be sometimes life-saving. I mean, it's a connection to someone different. It's someone to talk to. It's a friendship, someone they know that they can count on. And I think it works both ways, because many of our volunteers will tell you how much it means to them too, to have developed this relationship. And that's where you get the volunteers who tell the client, once they make that connection, just call me and I'll take you to the doctor, when you need it, or call me or ask for me, and when you call in, and I will take you. And I think for both, I mean, my volunteers love the people they work with, and they do form these bonds. And I think we even had honorees one year who actually became they worked with a woman, they visited a woman and took her to the doctors, and they got so connected with her that they became her power of attorney and worked with her through that, when she got very ill. So I think it's that human connection that everybody needs. And I think it can be life-saving, because I know personally, sitting home all alone during a pandemic can be very, very, very stressful. And I can't imagine someone whose family doesn't live locally, or they have no family, and they are, and they feel very helpless. So it's very important. And that's one of my favorite things about our program, is that we do more than just drive people. We build relationships and friendships. And that's all good, all good.
I remember one of our honorees one year. I can't remember who it was, and you probably remember, but she was a Faith in Action volunteer, and she had just retired, and she was talking about how Faith in Action saved her life. It was like a moment where she realized that she just wasn't going to be able to handle retirement without something to do, and this gave her something meaningful to do in her life. That was something that she felt that she really needed in order for her to get through a day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. And we have a lot of people who tell us they can't wait to retire so they can volunteer more. We actually had volunteers calling us up during the pandemic, telling us they were bored and they needed something to do. Was there anything we could do? And surprisingly, I was surprised. We've actually brought on, in the last few months, 7 new volunteers. So I think people are, the pandemic and the need to be reaching out to people is really still going on. So it's all good. It's great, and we're happy. Anybody that wants to volunteer can give me a call.
My guest today has been Sue Spencer, our Faith in Action volunteer coordinator and director. So thank you so much for being on Encounter today, Sue.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me.
And for all of you, our viewers, I hope that you would be good and gentle with each other today. Have a great day.